All right, so
optimism.
I don't know what direction we're gonna go with this one though.
I guess
yes. Do you
maybe
want to start, Titus?
do we each want to maybe make the point for our best forward and then kind of decide on two?
Sure. Oh, what?
Well, so like there's 6 forwards here to debate, but like maybe we can make a point. Each of us make a point on the one guy. We're like, hey, look, of my 2, this is the guy that should be on it, and then we can kind of all come to a decision on 2 forwards.
Yeah.
The guy I guess I would highlight is Jimmy Butler for me. Andrew Wiggins, I feel, is a little self-explanatory. I think he's kind of hasn't been great the second half of the season, so it could be a little obvious. Jimmy Butler, I looked up the stats trying to find cherry pick some stat. I could not. He's a great player. There's no arguing that. I just think there is absolutely no argument for why
he wanted to fight his coach.
He wanted to fight his coach. Like this is an all.
That's a bad thing.
This guy has griped his way out of a couple of places now. He's had some issues here in Miami, and if this Miami playoff run does not materialize the way they think that it's going to, is he really the guy you want leading your team? I know he's made the finals already and stuff like that. I mean, this might just be the dumbest pick I've ever made, but he was a guy I felt.
No, there's a case to be made. I mean, he's a head case.
Yeah, he's starting to get into Harden territory for me as far as like just always needing another team and stuff. So that's kind of the crux of my case. I'll let you one of you guys go ahead and make your case.
Yeah, I want to make my case on Michael Porter Jr. This guy, oh my God, this guy played 54 good games and then got a max contract. He was out. He was a top 5 prospect, dropped to 15 because of his back, out for the first year of his career. Played 55 games, started 8, played only 16 minutes in his second season. Third season, starts 54 games. He looks great. Like, then you got a big 3 for that season for Denver with him, Jamal Murray, and Jokic. Denver gets excited. Then he gets hurt. And then they sign him to the max. And he played 9 games. And he didn't look good doing it. And I do not want this guy anywhere near my franchise. My imaginary pseudo franchise, because even though he's a very talented player, I will love to watch him when he comes back. He did get vaccinated, even though it was kind of anti-vax, but that's
hey, he's doing what he can.
I just don't want. I don't want the injury bug. I've gone through it with Lonzo Ball this year. I've seen it so much with Kristaps Porzingis in Dallas, and I don't want Michael Porter Jr. Just get this guy off my team.
Fair case. Joey?
I'll take Middleton.
No,
just we have to discuss it so I don't look like an idiot. So my initial thought on Middleton was just the consistency factor, and also the thought of like, if you take Middleton off of that team, like, does that team take an absolute like free fall down the standings list? Like, I don't think they do. Like, you've got Holiday, you've got Bobby, Brook Lopez. Like, if he was healthy all season, like you could have taken Middleton off of that squad, and you're fine. And like, again, we're talking about just this year. I know last year in the playoffs, he was the most clutch player, I think, in the whole playoffs. Like,
I remember that mid-range he hit.
But like, you've got this, like we talked about last year, right? This whole Ferris wheel kind of thing of him, of like, you get the highs and you also get like the really big lows. And like, for somebody who is touted as like this, second piece of Giannis, like the 1A kind of like, he's not like this absolute like killer that you kind of like think of when you like look at the Bucks. Like, he's not the first guy you're going to mention. He's probably not the second guy you're going to mention on the Bucks. No. So like, in terms of his consistency and like, they can live without him, and plenty of people would love to have him. I think he's the perfect, like, somebody else can have him.
Yeah, like if he's got his own team or something, they're not a contender. You know what I mean? Right. Or they're not in the mix for anything. I think you made a great point there. It was something that I was going to bring up when you kind of mentioned his name at first. I don't think he's the second most important player on his team. He might be the third, or he probably is the third. But with that combination of Bobby and Lopez, like you said, I think he's the most expendable player on that team. Maybe.
Yeah, I still think I think like a year ago we were comparing him to like Tobias Harris, and Tobias Harris is falling even further. But I feel like Chris Middleton's taken a step up where I don't believe the Bucks can win the championship without Chris Middleton. Like,
fair.
If you replace him with Tobias Harris, I think they're significantly worse, like in a way that like hurts their championship chances.
I mean, with Tobias, you might be right. But like, what if you swapped out Zach?
Oh, come on. Would
the Bucks
give him
worse?
DeMar DeRozan at this point?
Or DeMar, or DeMar.
Yeah, they'd be fine. But like that's
fine.
like a top guy as well. And like DeMar's not as well. DeMar was expendable. That's a weird case.
Yeah, it's weird.
DeMar's not as expendable as Middleton. Though no, Middleton, he also grew within the Milwaukee organization. I'm not comfortable putting Chris Middleton on the you can have him list because I like the guy. I like that on my team.
Yeah, I do like him. I would feel bad to put him on there. But
Jimmy Butler, though. Okay, so Butler or Porter? Do we want to have Jimmy Butler on this? Like,
the other guy,
he's better than Porter.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Is that worth? Is he?
We need two
on this list. Well, I know. Oh, sorry. We can talk about the other guys.
Well, the other guy you mentioned, or you have on your list, is Siakam, and I think that's an interesting one because he is a really good player, and rumored for All NBA, third team this year and stuff like that. But he might fall into that. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So Pascal Siakam, he's a product of a very good story. The guy, where's he from? Where's this guy from? Senegal?
Maybe
Cameroon. Cameroon. Great story.
Great story. You're falling in love with these guys.
But and he's really grown within Toronto. Everyone loves him. Toronto's one of the top 3 fan bases in the NBA, and like I think, given what Pascal's grown into, he's fine. I've said this before. He's averaging 22 points, 8 rebounds. I don't expect him to become a 25 and 12 kind of guy.
Yeah.
I kind of expect him to. I feel like he's a little limited skill wise offensively. I remember in the Boston series a couple of years ago, he was kind of exposed there. And when I was looking up his advanced stats defensively, he's not as dominant defensively as I thought. I thought this guy was a defensive machine, and he's really better offensively in the low post and finishing and mid range and all these things that really aren't mattering as much in the NBA. And I just look at him like I really, really thought about DeMar DeRozan for this list, but like he's kind of a step below DeMar. And for that reason, the amount you're going to have to pay him to keep him on your team, I don't want to pay that contract for this semi-good
mid-tier player.
He's a one-time All-Star.
Yeah.
I don't know. People talk about him like he's made the All-Star 3 or 4 times, and I don't know. So
who do you guys think, man? Who do we think in?
Joey, do you want to talk about Domantas Sabonis real quick? Because that was on my bench. I
don't know much needs to be said for that. I mean,
he
was on Indiana. They were never good with him. They were kind of okay, but I think a lot of that was probably when Paul George was kind of on his way. Well, did he play with Paul? Yeah, he did for one season, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
No, they were traded for each other.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Yeah,
that's right.
Him and Oladipo. Yeah.
Okay, so they blew it up for Sabonis, and he didn't turn anything, and they dumped him to Sacramento to get into the play-in. Right, that was their only goal. Was Sabonis was going to take them to the 10th seed, and they didn't get that. So
he got hurt then too. Yeah,
I think that's self-explanatory.
Is it that? So yeah. Well, so Titus, what do you think?
This is a tough one. Honestly, I'm not looking at these lists. I can kind of go see a couple different ways. I think Butler. What do you guys think, man? You guys think Butler?
I'm good with Jimmy Butler.
All
okay, if you two are fine, I'm like half on it.
Right.
Let's put him on there.
Let's put Butler, and then I think it's between Middleton, Sabonis, or Michael Porter Jr. for that other spot.
I don't think it's Middleton.
I don't think it's Middleton either. I kind of agree with you guys.
Not Siakam. Oh, you like Siakam? All right, that's fine.
Well, I mean, it could be Siakam. Then maybe Siakam, Porter.
I feel like Sabonis is too obvious. Like he's on the obvious bench team, kind of like Vooch.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Michael Porter Jr. as mine.
Well, who's better, Michael Porter Jr. or Pascal? Like, who do you think people would rather have? Probably Porter, right?
I think Pascal.
Yeah,
I mean, that's probably a toss-up. Maybe I just listened to too much No Dunks.
I'm going to put Pascal on.
All right, I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that, too.
I'm not going to fight it.
Yeah. We're running
all right,
here.
centers.
All right. Well,
Dude,
I'm gonna make the case for Rudy because I feel